It's been 5 whole years since the anime world buzzed with excitement over the announcement of the Junji Ito Uzumaki Anime adaptation. And from the little teaser we got, it looked so good. We had the director saying that they were taking their time with the animation. Every preview and trailer we've got looked worth the wait. But when it first came out, it didn't seem like it. With all of the hype and promise from the last 5 years, it really did hurt to say this, but it was pretty disappointing. But why? So today, we're going to dive deep into the entire anime series, which isn't very long, and see what really went wrong with one of the most anticipated horror anime series of all time.
But if you guys want to see more anime content like this one, then why not go down and hit that subscribe button.
Also, go ahead and join our Discord server where we give recommendations, play games, do live events, and even more. So all you have to do is scroll down and click the link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Adult Swim dropped the teaser for the Uzumaki anime 5 years ago, and the reception was mainly positive but also very skeptical. Before the announcement, every anime adaptation of Junji Ito has been either whatever or just really bad, and definitely nothing compared to Junji Ito's artwork. That being said, just a year before this anime dropped, we had another Junji Ito anime, and it was also pretty bad in its own way. So people were right to be skeptical, but more trailers came out and it was looking a little bit more promising. First off, the first episode was actually really good. The story itself wasn't the best, neither was the manga though, and it stayed very accurate to the source material. A little bit too accurate, but I'll explain more in the third episode. The first episode might actually be a perfect first episode. It was able to introduce the two main characters, it introduces the overall plot early and quickly, building up the tensions and future scenarios perfectly. They also did the two most popular chapters early on, the Spiral Girl and the Snail People. The music and sound have to be like the most unsettling thing of all time. It is a amazing OST. If I hear it in any scenario or clip, it just turns into an all-out horror movie. I love it. The pacing and merging of chapters into a single episode was done pretty good as well. But the story is usually the worst thing about Junji Ito. Most of his stuff relies on the really weird and scary Lovecraftian scenarios that he comes up with. But most importantly, it's his art. A big reason why a lot of anime adaptations didn't really work with fans is because of the animation. It's going to be extremely hard to match the style and creepiness of Junji Ito, especially into a whole anime. You can take Yo as an example. However, this first episode explained why we had to wait so long, and it was so worth it. All of the big moments hit that impact that it needed, and the animation quality was amazing throughout the entire episode. So already a very good start to what seems to be a 12 episode series. Except that's not what we got. This is where the big problems with the series start coming in. With one of the worst episodes of this series, episode 2. Even though with just only 4 episodes, saying the second episode is the worst shouldn't be such a bad thing. But boy, did they really miss that mark. Episode 2 was pretty much the school episode. All of the chapters that were in school all happened in this episode. Medusa, the Snail People, Jack in the Box, the Twisted Souls, and for some reason the Lighthouse? The pacing of this episode was just horrendous, going back and forth with every plot line literally looking like it's clashing, not giving us any time to just take it in, leaving most people just confused. For fans of the original manga, it didn't hit us as much, but for people just getting introduced to Uzumaki for the first time, it seemed super all over the place. Junji Ito's Collections is a series I didn't really like, but at least the stories had some breathing space. 4 episodes each 24 to 26 minutes is not enough to cover all 19 chapters of what basically is an anthology series, let alone trying to merge them all together. And of course, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, the massive downgrade of animation. It's been mocked and criticized online so much I'm not even gonna bother, but it's just so distracting and disappointing. The fact that it took us 5 years and 3 halts for this? 2024 is honestly such a weird year. The fact that Blue Lock, Tower of God, and Uzumaki all have just horrible cap cut animation, but a series about horse girl racing having the most beautiful animation I've ever seen is obscure. Honestly, it made me want to actually go watch that horse girl anime. Episode 3, the animation is a little bit better. The movements of the characters are better, the scares are animated better, but not even close to the point of the first episode. Episode 3 revealed to me an obvious problem with the anime though. Why aren't they cutting out chapters? The director wanted to adapt every single chapter into this 4-episode long series, and it's not going to work, and I think they knew it wasn't going to work either. Honestly, all they really had to do was cut out the lighthouse part, put it in the beginning of episode 3, which would lead perfectly to the hospital, then completely getting rid of the house chapter. They could move into the house, that's fine, but just get rid of the dude hiding in the walls, and instead, maybe hint at the reporter coming in, or maybe giving time to Kyrie just mourning the Jack-in-the-Box boy. And then you leave the Jack-in-the-Box jump scare for when Kyrie, the reporter, and Suichi are going through the mountain. And even then, that just feels awfully weird, just doing all those cut-ups. So why not just have this series be an 8 or like 12 episode series? And now, the final episode. Episode 4. I would say it's better than most people think, but the animation for some reason just gets really good for one scene, and then the next one is like one of the worst I've ever seen. The pacing is good, but again, the animation just seems to drag down this episode. It's always either both on point or both lacking, and then either one or the other is just lacking. Most of the complaints I've heard from this episode are really just from the ending, but that's just how the story is, and honestly, I don't mind it as much. The manga also did that ending, and not a lot of people also liked it, so I'm not giving the anime too much crap for that. And the after credit scene, I actually thought was pretty cool. I liked it, nothing really much to talk about there. The whole series was just a really beautiful top Krabby Patty bun, but then you bite into it, and it turns out to be a very nasty patty. But why did it have to come to this? Why did it take 5 years to make 4 30-minute episodes? In 5 years, why did the animation turn from this to this? Well, the series executive producer Jason DeMarco went to social media and aired out all of his frustrations with the production issues. Quote, "I can't talk about what went down, but we were screwed over, and the options were A, not finish and air nothing and call it a loss, B, just finish and air episode 1 and then leave it incomplete, C, run all 4, warts and all. Out of respect for the hard work, we chose C. After waiting so long, it makes sense people would be mad. Unfortunately, I can't tell them who to blame it on, but someone is definitely at fault here, and we all just had to do our best when things imploded. Maybe others would have made different choices. We did the best we could have had." The COVID-19 pandemic also had the biggest impact on this series, with production being halted for almost a whole year. But that still leaves off 4 years of work, and even without the pandemic, the series saw multiple delays, and it was even close to even never being released, according to Jason. Jason continued in his rant saying, "A lot of people worked very hard on the show, and I didn't think the actions of just 1 or 2 people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. A lot of people are being blamed on for this. A lot of people are putting the blame on Studio Akatsuki, since they were responsible for the animations for episode 2 and 3. But we also can't forget about the other studio, Studio Fugaku, who worked on episode 1, but also worked on the finale, which had this scene here." So, was it the animation studio? Was it the directors? Was it the budget and the company were just being very greedy, trying to save money? Was it on time? All of it right now is just been speculation. The anime overall was, dare I say, the biggest disappointment in horror anime history, other than maybe like the 2016 Berserk anime. It just seems like the Junji Ito anime adaptation is like a cursed thing that's never meant to be good. Normally, I can't tell you how to fix problems, but this is really such a simple solution. Add more episodes, and give the animators more time and money to fix the animations. Even with the delays, I think it's worth taking the time and effort into making an anime that people will be talking about in the future, rather than just rushing a series so it gets clowned on for a month and then never mentioned again. We can't put the fault on anybody, or at least not just one person. It's a shame that all of this waiting 5 years, with literally every year just adding on to more hype, just for it to be wasted. But at least we did get one good episode. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to join the Discord server. The link will be in the description below. And if you guys like more horror, anime, and manga videos like this one, then why not hit that subscribe button? But may God bless you guys, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.